Please welcome to the stage, Mr. David Bond.
Good evening. How's everybody? You know, I want to talk about love. They told me to introduce my sister, Senator Miller. When I see her, I think about love because she had to do a lot of loving to put up with her brother. When I was a freshman in college, and she was an elementary school teacher at Young Park Elementary School, she had a fair lane, a little small fair lane. Some of y'all don't know about that. But I would drive that fair lane and leave her at school. And school is over with. She out there waiting for me to bring the car back, and I'm still doing my thing. And sometimes the weather is not that good, you know? But when you're young and, you know, you're kind of heated up, because this creation of women just messed me up. So I was always late. It took a lot of love for her to keep letting me use the car. But the worst thing was, I used it one day, and I didn't show up at all. You know what happened? I was in an accident with the car. And this was a new car. Bam! Somebody just run, and it was my fault. And when I finally got to this school and explained it to her, the first thing out of her mouth, "Are you hurt?" Now that takes a lot of love. That takes a lot of love. And it's got to be something in you to love like that. I remember when I got out of the military, I was in the Army, and I was stationed in Germany, and I wasn't riding home the way I should be. You know what she did? She came to Germany. This is back in the 60s now. She's showing up in Germany. And I was with a medical unit, you know, and that was blowing the people's mind. "Who is that?" I said, "That's my sister." "Where's she?" She came to visit her brother. For what? She loves her brother. She just come to visit her brother. That's a lot of love. Because she just kept, see, love covers a multitude of sin. And there had to be a lot of love. And she showed it to me. She didn't tell me about it or said, "I'm a Christian, I'm this, I'm that." The Bible speaks about returning good for evil. I was an evil little brother back then. But I just thank God that He blessed me with a sister that loved me. First of all, she's the first black woman elected to the House of Representatives in 1984. But she wouldn't stop there. Then she had to be the first black woman elected to the Senate of Virginia. And she wouldn't stop there. Then she is the longest legislator. I'm not saying woman or black or white, the longest legislator that's been serving in the Senate. That's saying something. So you need to know that we are living in historical times. I was honored to be with her on a lot of occasions. I drove her a lot of places. And you know, it touches you when you're somewhere with your sister and you hear her giving a speech and tears come out your eyes. That's heavy. She was a delegate for Senator Barack Obama before he was elected president. She got 9 brothers and 4 sisters. 9. She's small, but don't you think that don't mean she ain't tough. They have 9 brothers to deal with. She got to be a tough little cookie. And you have to understand that she has so much love in her. But ladies and gentlemen, thank you for loving these beautiful people here, and thank you for loving my sister. Senator Yvonne.
I was working in the community, and there was a very powerful group in our community called Concerned Citizens, made up of Mrs. Evelyn Butts, a very powerful African-American woman, Bishop L.E. Willis, who owned the radio station, Mr. Ed Brown, who was a top federal national labor leader, and many pastors. And this concerned citizens group said to the person who held the seat that I ran for the House of Delegates, that seat was designed to have an African American. Before that, we had just one African American in the House of Delegates. We had the Honorable William P. Robinson Sr., who was later succeeded by his son, William P. Robinson Jr. So when they asked me to run, I didn't decide to run. The group asked me to run. They said I had some quality called electability. I didn't know at that time what that meant. It meant that there were people in the community who trusted me because I worked in the community and I lived a certain way in the community, and they felt comfortable with me. So the day I announced for the House of Delegates, I knew I was going to win because they had the power in those days to close down support for anybody who ran against me. But in the meantime, while I was in the House of Delegates, and I only stayed in the House of Delegates for 4 years, I worked very hard, and I continued doing things in the community. And so when Peter Babalas, who held the Senate seat, he was very sick with cancer, and we knew that the end was near. So I came home from Richmond from a session and moved to another part of my district so I could run for that Senate seat. Well, when I ran for the Senate seat, there was serious opposition. A rich white lawyer ran for the seat, and a former city manager from the city of Norfolk ran for the seat, and no one gave me a chance of being able to win that seat. But I knew I was going to win because I had worked, and I knew how to work with people in the community. I had learned a lot about politics in the 4 years in the House of Delegates, and so I won the seat. And everybody was surprised except me because I knew when I announced that I was going to win.
Senator Miller was the first African-American female in the history of Virginia to serve in the House of Delegates, and the first African-American female to serve in the Virginia State Senate, and the first to chair a Senate Standing Committee. This is history right here in Brandy Village.
It's a great joy to be here with all of the beautiful people. One of the things we need to clearly understand is that gorgeousness runs in our family. All of us are made in the image and likeness of God. And because He makes no junk, we are gorgeous, we are smart, we are intelligent, we can do anything that we put our minds to do. And it's important for our children to understand how valuable they are. You are our replacement generation.
It's important for me to serve people. And in order to understand why it's important for me to serve people, you need to understand a little bit about who I am. I'm the oldest of 13 children. I have 3 sisters and 9 brothers. And so all of my life I've been taught that you must do what is right because your brothers and sisters are mimicking you. And so since I was the first one to finish high school in my family, the first one to go to college, the first one to own a car, then I had many opportunities to help and teach people. So as a politician, it's important for me to serve the people in my district. And although my district is very diverse, I go from extremely poor people to extremely rich people in the district. It's the extremely poor people and the middle class people who need the services that I'm able to render. And so I stay in touch with the people by going to lots of meetings, by attending all kinds of functions, by answering questions on the phone, by working with people in my district, with state agencies to get the things they want. That's why it's important to me to continue to serve.
This production has been brought to you by Image Entertainment in partnership with New Journal and Guide. Subscribe today.